Welcome to today's feature presentation, Short-Term Trading with TradeColors.com. My name is Thomas Baumann. I'm your presenter today, and I want to make you aware of the risk in trading and that I'm here not as a broker, dealer or financial advisor, but as an educator and trader. TradeColors.com is the introductory system of never loss trading into the world of algorithmic trading. We help you to spot and follow institutional money moves because price is not a variable, it's the result of a negotiation process between supply and demand, and with that it can be measured and extrapolated, and we'll show you how. And we want to show you how to trade at crucial price turning points. With our algorithm in the background, we color the sequences blue for up and red for down, and then we spell out opportunities. Two blue of a kind, and the break of the high will be a trade to the upside. Two red to the downside, and the break of the high in the next candle will be a trade to the downside. Pretty simple. Our goal with our algorithmic trading system is to achieve at or above 65% accuracy in predicting the future price move of an asset. And here you see upside move, downside move, only under the condition that the break of the second candle's high on the long side or on the short side the low is triggering the entry. Let's dive into an example, and the happening is independent from what you choose. Here we have an example because it was a request by a client. Show us your performance on the NQ on different time and tick range, and I show you the results. What we did here is we were drawing the happening of the NQ on the chart, and what we observe is a 30-day period, and we found 9 confirmed signals. Sometimes the signal sequence is not confirmed, like you have it here, and then we would not want to trade. But here you see the orange highlighted. Those are the sequences where we had 2 candle and the break confirmed, and then we compare it to our win or loss ratio, because we have definitely exact entry conditions, exact exit conditions, and exact stops. So that's important, so that you're not guessing what the happening will be. You always at any position know for how far will I trade, so how many bars, what price range will I trade for, and I explain to you the details. Our system gives you at any point an expectation of the price move. Here is the approximated price move, and that's measured just on that last bar, about 76 points, not about 76 points here. However, throughout that period where we measured, we had about 80 points we were trading for. You're looking at a 2-hour chart, day chart only. Trading the E-mini Nasdaq futures for 80 points means a price change of the underlying of $1,600. At the end of the day, risk and reward, however you pan it out, will go hand in hand, so we are making the assumption that as much as you risk, as much reward you will get at these individual setups, and we're going to click and see the results of those 9 opportunities, where 7 were winners, 2 were losers. So in a time period of 32 trading days, we would have produced an outcome of $8,000. That's the actual win rate. Had we assumed a 65% win rate, the expectation was 3,840. So you see a fluctuation, can be to the upside, can be to the downside. In average, we strive for at or above 65% accuracy in our trading. Successful traders work rule-based. And with our introduction to TradeColors.com, at the end of the day, we want you to say, this makes trading easy for me, counting candles 1, 2, 3. The rules come directly from the chart. So you see here the 2 candle setup to the upside, and the break of the high triggers the trade. The 2 candle setup to the downside, and the break of the low triggers the trade in the next candle. Very much simplified and clear, rule-based, and you can follow those rules. That's what we want to achieve. We teach you the situation, we teach you the rules for you to repeat them over and over. The system is helping you bar by bar to find the price move you're trading for. You saw I had pointed out in average we traded for 80 points, but bar by bar, specifically it will be spelled out 76.1 points and gives you a relation of the maximum expected price move too. Yeah, so you can negotiate between the two, and this we teach in our mentorships. However, that all sounds easy. Risk management is the name of the game, and I'm gonna go a little deeper into that of what you learn in our mentorships about it. Applying the right risk management is the make or break of a trader or an investor. And here are some basic rules. Risk and reward should be in no different relation than 1.1 to 1. So that means for $1.20 of risk, $1 of reward is the maximum risk you can accept. If you have to invest $1.50 to make $1, it's bad for you. Don't do it. Yeah, but you need those rules because as you are trading by expectation, we want you to trade by clear-cut financial figures. The max risk of a trade should be between 2 and 5% of your capital holdings. Never let one trade produce a deep account drawdown by that if you trade like this. If you are trading right, then the percentage-based investment rule helps you to invest more per risk unit. And if your risk is violated by this, for example, here you saw in the NQ, what we did was like a $1,600 risk per unit, then we have to swap to a different asset class or to a different contract. And here we show you an example how that can be done. First measure could be a swap to a different contract, because we were looking at the E-mini NASDAQ 100 futures contract. We could go and swap to the micro NASDAQ 100 futures contract, which is just 10%, and so that means prior you had a risk unit of $1,600. When trading with the micro contract, it's $160, 10% of that. Or you could change the time base. Yeah, so you could scale down. We were on the 2-hour chart to a smaller time frame, but there is a limit to that. We encourage you to not trade 1 or 2 minutes or 5-minute charts, because that's in the middle of volatility and usually doesn't lead to the desired results. Or you can swap the asset class, going from where we are right now in the NASDAQ 100 futures to potentially trading Forex or trading stocks. A lot is possible. I cannot put that all here into that presentation, but the system will work for any time frame, for any asset class, regardless of what you want to look at. Or you go to different exchange conditions. What would that mean? Moving, for example, from a time-based perspective to a tick-based perspective, looking at transactions rather than time. Here's an example. What you see here is a 3,200 tick chart for the E-mini NASDAQ 100 futures. And you see in the observed time frame, it's 2 days, we had plenty of different opportunities to the downside as to the upside, always following in the conditions. And we did a little review and summary of what the results were and what the individual risk units were. Yeah? So in average, we were trading for 16 points. Yeah? That's $320 of risk and reward. We had 7 trading opportunities in a matter of 2 days. And in your observed time frames, we had 6 winner, 1 loss. So we added up 6 times 320 minus 320. We would have produced, following the system, $1,600 of net income, which is pretty solid, and it's above expectations. As you can see, for being a rule-based trader, there's plenty of things to be learned, but they can be learned, and that's the big difference we want to make here. And therefore we teach you one-on-one. You might not be interested in the NQ but in other assets, and we show you for different asset classes and also recommend you what to best fits your trading style when we get to know you. And what we do for you is, in our mentorship, we do software installation, server-based, meaning you buy a new computer, it's going to be there. Real-time data access, which is essential. We define with you the entry, exit, and stop for every trade, and you see that from your chart. We work together on position sizing to not have drawdowns and to be continuously invested in the market, knowing the time of a trade, 3 to 4 bars, and if there is more, we have a clear-cut tracking sheet of how to follow the price move, risk handling, and in particular, business plan for trading success, where we write down for you what you want to trade, when are the situations, how do you handle them, and also a financial plan, what should be your expectations based on the rate of how often you're going to trade. Now the key, what's it going to cost you to be part of this program? TradeColors.com is selling for $2,497, and it should be worth it, but I have some additions for you. Yeah? Summer special. Instead of 4 hours of training, I'll give you 5 hours of training. Every training hour I prepare for an hour to be specifically working for you, and we do it at your best available days and times. And it's not a group session, it's one-on-one teaching you of how it's done right, at least the value of $400. You get in addition NLT box indicator. You saw it already in the chart. I was not referring to it, but it helps you to define breakouts or breakdowns, and that's a $600 value. So in addition to what you have to pay, you get $1,000 on top that can help you to direct you into the right direction as a rule-based trader. Put an end to guessing how to trade and have random success, because most of the current systems, they are not algorithmic, they are past oriented, looking at moving averages, MACD based, RSI based, and the probabilities of those systems are between 51 to 54%. We want to strive with you for 65% and above, as you saw in the examples, and we teach you one-on-one and we coach you for a month. So if you have points that you want to reiterate, you can do that. Every session will be recorded individually. We are more than 10 years in that business teaching one-on-one, and we follow with our algorithms institutional money moves, because a change in supply and demand can be measured and extrapolated. The name Never Lost Trading, so that's the base system we have, doesn't say you will never lose a trade. It comes from the idea and concept of never stop loss trading. Instead of taking the stop, we repair the trade, and we show you that in your mentorship too. So if this is for you, here's again our offering. Be part of this. Talk to us, give us a ring, or write us an email, and we can get in contact with you. Set up an initial hour where you can ask for the asset that you want to look at and the time frames, and we count up the good and the bad trades, and then afterwards you can decide if this is holding 65% accuracy, and most likely we will, and we are looking forward to hearing back from you. Thank you very much for your attention.